Hello and welcome to today's video as we cover what took place in the LEC today, as well as go over our LCK team rankings prior to Wednesday where rounds 1 and 2 begin. With SK and NaVi, we have the 50th ranked team versus the 13th. This would be a 2-1 series. NaVi ahead for 68% of it. Game 1 going much the way of SK, but the other two very much going NaVi's direction. Paris went 1-8-37 with the best KDA. Poby had 2 solo kills, 29% of damage. Rylich had a solo kill, 79 KP in his own right. Yopa, or Yappa. Great series out of him again. Back-to-back losses, but showing up and showing that maybe he does deserve to be on an LEC stage as everything is burning around him. His team is taking troll picks, etc. He went 18-7-15 with 3 solo or 2v2 kills, led in damage share with 30% and kill participation 75%. Maitner had 2 solo kills, Skeens had 2 solo kills, Leader had 1. In terms of early game, it went all the way of NaVi. We see 422, 738, 348, 892. Those are the gold leads respectively at 15 minutes on average throughout this series within each matchup. So 1160, roughly 1500, about 2400 gold lead on average at 15 minutes. Now the reason why this series went 2-1 outside of SK's winning game 1 is just NaVi really struggled. They needed 3 Barons in each game, averaging only 192 gold a Baron power play in this series. Truly a shit show with power plays as far as I'm concerned. SK got 33-48 over their 2 Barons. Had 8 of 18 Drakes. NaVi were ahead for 68% of the series, but it was really in part due to the fact they couldn't end the game. This series was a lot closer than that. SK gave NaVi all they could handle. And it was a lot like the day prior, where Heretics into SK, yes, because Vitality played KC. Heretics into SK really struggled to end as well, blowing a game. And it really made you scratch your head and say, SK finally showed up when they're down 17-4 in kills and down 9k gold. And showed how to make it very difficult on their opponent to end. And in this case, they did that to NaVi, another young team. NaVi found a way to get it done, but it was a struggle. And then Vitality Heretics. This series was actually closer than the other one on paper. The 2-0 score does not give a fair interpretation of this series. It's just, Vitality won both games, but Heretics really threw game 1, very reminiscent of yesterday, losing late game team fights when they are in position to win. That's why it ended up being Vitality ahead for 55% of this series, because Heretics did give them all they could handle in this 19 versus 26 matchup. Drake's 6 of 10 went to Vitality. They took 2 of 3 Barons. Karzi and Saren led in all the categories. So Karzi had 5 solo 2v2 kills, 4 of them occurring on Caitlyn in game 2. 12-0-6, 36% of damage, 72 KP. Saren 5-3-6, 34% of damage, 79 KP for Heretics. Nako had 2 solo kills, 1 a game. Lynchus had 1 as well. Unfortunately, they put Trayson on Scion duty in game 2. I wish they had not done that to see how him and Nako could have done the entire series. But the Rumble Scion matchup did not go as well for Nako as you would anticipate such a matchup. In terms of diffies, 436 for him over Trayson. Sheo, very much ahead of Lynchus in this series, 514 gold on average. Mid, 112 to Humanoid, 1298 for Karzi and Fleshy. That is the notable score here. A big diffy in that bot lane duo in game 2. Karzi and Fleshy really dominated Ice and Way. And that defined the series, in my opinion, and really put Heretics away. Ice and Way need to be on the same page, and they struggled. So the early game here, you're looking at roughly, 548, about 1,300 gold lead, and all of it being on the bot lane duo for Vitality. Barons, 3,600 gold for Vitality over their two Barons. And Heretics had negative 1224. It's probably actually worse than that. That was in game one. They took Baron to try and, recover what was a lost game that they had thrown. And they were wiped and ended the series. So that is a thing. In terms of the LCK, and then we'll talk about the team rankings and how it's changed as a result of these games. Not many changes, really. LCK, it's based on stats, player stats. That's what gets these first three categories. We keep in mind that some players did not have to play in best of fives in playoffs in LCK Cup. That's why HLE are 10th. Because HLE, actually, their stats were not great for players of their caliber, but also their tier ranking is terrible because they did not get to LCK Cup and the best of series, and that's because the format was shit. So we got solo lane, mid jungle duo, bot lane duo ranked in the region based on stats. Power ranking, which is based on team ranking stats, like even though it says team up there, but team ranking stats like I'm saying the power rankings that I'm going to go over at the end. Regular season finish, playoff finish for perspective. So gen.g are dominant. They have the number one player in all five categories. Their domestic play obviously is excellent, going 20-2. D+, strong outing, young team, only going to get better in my opinion, which is scary for the rest of the region. D+ are only going to get better. Smash and Career are only going to get better. Siwoo and Lucid as well. Showmaker is what he is. So they are going to be a Worlds team, it looks like. T1, obviously, up there. Owner, Faker, leaving a bit to be desired as the bot side is. Really, it's Doran who is leading the way for T1 right now statistically. BFX, defined by Raptor and Vikla, statistically, even though Diablo and Kellen are probably their best part. KT, BDD, Cuz, makes sense. KRX, yes, because DRX are now KRX, I believe. Jiwoo and Andal. Bro, Teddy Namgun. Nongshim, King and Scout. DNS, Doodoo Closer. Doodoo and Closer statistically are very strong year in and year out. People just don't realize it. Now, the bot lane duo are 10th in both roles, which is why they're 10th. 9th, sorry. And HLE are better than 10th. They're better than 10th. Zeus, Kanavi, Zeka, Guma, Delight are better than 10th. Just pretend that they're way up here in this conversation. I don't know what happened outside of... Well, they put themselves in that position. It's not like that group wasn't doing them any favors, don't get me wrong, but it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate how the format just really screwed HLE. The winner of first stand last year didn't even get an opportunity with such a star-studded lineup that I think is capable of winning Worlds on paper. So that is the thing. In terms of power ranking, how these teams rank in terms of their play on the Rift, outside of team individual stats, we're looking at are either taking Drakes, or they using their gold wisely, or the winning lane. And T1 tend to be the case as the second best team. Then BFX are third, which is why they were succeeding in the elimination rounds. D+, DNS very strong in that way as well. Regular season, of course, shitty format. Playoffs, shitty format. But, so LCK going into rounds 1, 2. gen.g, obviously the class of the field. D+, getting better. T1 are up there. And then I expect HLE to improve drastically. And BFX probably drop out. So that's it for that. Now on to the power rankings. Okay, so not much happened. Only top esports move up. Koi moved down one due to what happened today in the LEC. Not that those numbers directly affected Koi, but they very well could have. And the ripple effects of teams playing, like even Los dropped 2 spots to LGD and Fly, just from these 4 teams playing. We have to keep in mind a team like SK are probably not going to fall much farther, theoretically. Heretics still 26th, despite losing 2-0. Vitality didn't move up because, it was a close matchup. NaVi still 13th, so not a lot really changed today. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.